Welcome to the April edition of Coral Gables Now. Today on the show, an award-winning production comes to the Actors Playhouse. We'll find out how this small Coral Gables gem is able to attract big productions and talent. All eyes are on the city's fire department. Their quick and innovative treatment of stroke patients is becoming a model for the rest of the nation. And to juice or to blend, which one is healthier? We'll talk to a dietitian to find out. Don't move, we've got you covered for everything that's happening in the city. Coral Gables Now starts right now. Welcome back. Your chances of surviving a stroke are much better in Coral Gables, and that's thanks to a specialized network of medical professionals and hospitals. And the program is so successful that it's becoming a model for the rest of the nation. Now, joining us to talk about it is Captain John Curry. He is the EMS coordinator here at the fire department. Thank you so much, Captain, for being here.
Glad to be here.
So tell me a little bit about the Stroke Consortium. How does it operate?
The Stroke Consortium is a group of fire departments in the area, 6 departments, and it's called the FOAMD, Fire Officers of Miami-Dade Association. In that group, we tackle topics such as strokes, cardiac problems, and such to better treat them. The FOAMD Stroke Consortium was formed with the assistance of neurointerventionalists in the area. There's 7 that really work from Dade to Broward.
Okay.
We partnered with them, and our goal was to define what stroke patient went where, if that makes sense. I can drill down into that. A small stroke can be handled by a lesser capable hospital than the more intense stroke, the more severe of strokes. They need to be routed to a facility that has staffing such as the neurointerventional on call, not on call, but in-house, ready to perform the neurosurgery that's required for a patient to survive.
Because not every hospital has a neurosurgeon on staff there ready to go.
Exactly.
And so you don't want every stroke victim to go directly over there because they'd be bombarded and not getting
Correct.
the right.
Currently, 87% of all strokes are what we call the ischemic strokes, the smaller of the strokes, and 13% are the comprehensive strokes. So there's a smaller number, but if you take a more critical stroke patient to a lesser facility, the chances of survival diminish.
Okay.
And that's what made our network so groundbreaking. No one was defining in the field of, EMS, where we could train our paramedics to define using a checklist that we developed with our neurointerventionals to where this patient would be better served. So we define whether it's a big stroke or a small stroke and then route them accordingly.
So that was not happening before the stroke
network. That was not happening.
And it wasn't happening anywhere in the state either?
No, it was not.
So basically when there was a stroke patient anywhere in the state, they would just get routed to the nearest hospital?
Absolutely.
Without any reason to think that there was any difference or that any critical care could help the situation.
Correct.
Okay, so this really established, that there is something that can be done.
Absolutely. And when we partnered with the neurointerventionals, what we call the brain surgeons,
right,
they were adamant about there could be a huge amount of, successes that could be seen if the patients were routed there in time. Time is our enemy. With cardiac, it's time equals heart muscle. With a stroke, time equals the neurons in your brain. The more neurons they can save, the quicker they can get the blood flowing back to the brain, the better quality of life you're going to have in the long run.
Okay. So after this happened, we're still the first in the state to put this together. You've seen dramatic increases in survivability.
Yes, we have. Right now we're transporting, it appears to be more to the comprehensive centers, which further, proves our theory that, our paramedics, within, the 6 jurisdictions are perfectly capable of defining who would be served better where. So the theory has been proven.
And so now after all this, there's other police people that are seeing this. We're being published in several medical journals. Tell me about that.
We didn't expect it. We're just trying to do the right thing in our regular committee meetings and then partnering with these neurologists. Well, as it turns out that, this is so innovative that a lot of people have taken an interest in it. And then there's the, the human element, that I experienced. Journals such as, GEMS magazine, it's a journal of emergency medicine. They published an article on the network and, the good we're doing, and then other people have picked up on it too. We've been published by several journals already, and with that, it sparked interest throughout the nation.
So what do you think is the importance of being published in all these medical journals? Besides the fact that, we're getting tremendous attention for what we're doing, but what's the real reason behind this?
For the fire department and the EMS committee and the FOAMD directors, my fire chief, Walt Reed, and such, the other jurisdictional fire chiefs. The importance is saving people, improving their quality of life. That's what our biggest interest is. And if we can prove a theory, a process or a network that can definitely improve outcomes, especially in stroke patients now, that's what it's all about. We're proving a theory to where a rural county EMS provider that doesn't have the power, let's say, that we have, it proves the theory, and then by doing that, they can implement our program. Our program currently is being implemented in parts of Broward already, and it's spreading into Palm Beach. So it's moving north, and then the State Bureau of EMS is well aware of our program, our network, and they're looking into it as something that they want to, do statewide. So,
okay.
And from there, it's progressing.
Yeah, so we've got some major universities calling at your door now. Tell me about that.
I've been invited to speak at Columbia University in June with one of our neurointerventionals. Turns out his mentor was a world-renowned neurosurgeon. So I'll be going up in June doing a 20-minute dissertation on the development of a stroke network and how to develop one. That was the topic, among many. It's a gathering of medical professionals, hundreds of doctors, physicians, brain surgeons, such, get together and discuss current trends and how to improve patient care.
That sounds great, and that's really prestigious. Exactly, yeah. It is an honor.
It is.
It is. And so, do you think that this is also going to help? Then, I mean, that's a great place. That's a good platform for other people, for other medical professionals to see what we're doing.
Yeah, and we're very open with our material. We're providing it to anybody who wants it. So, it kind of puts Gables on the map again.
It does. Well, thank you so much, Captain Curry. We wish you the best, and congratulations for that prestigious honor.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be right back with more of Coral Gables Now.
Help stop red light running. Go to stoponred.org to support intersection safety programs in your community. The life you save may be the one you love.
Welcome back. You've probably noticed there is a growing trend toward healthier eating habits, and among the popular ways to eat cleaner is through juicing and blending. Now, there's 2 different methods to it, and here to explain the difference is dietitian Jamie Mass. Jamie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's now go to juicing and blending. I've tried both of them. They both have their benefits. Tell me about the difference in the methods.
Okay, so there's blending, as you mentioned, and then juicing. And you're going to see dozens of different machines for both.
Yes.
So don't get overwhelmed. A lot of them provide different benefits. So for example, a blending machine like you have here,
Yep.
this is a mini blender.
Yep, this is a blender, and also we've got bigger blenders, which are the regular ones that you have at home.
Right, which you may even use for cooking. You can also use that to blend drinks.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to take the whole food, put it into a blender, and create what you would call a smoothie. Okay, a juicer is going to take, let's say you have a cucumber, you're going to take that and you're going to create a liquid juice from that vegetable or fruit. So that's the difference there in large. In a juicing process, you could potentially lose some fiber from the actual fruit or vegetable because you're not getting the entirety of the skin and the pulp.
Because it does remove some of the skin.
It may even remove a lot of it, yeah.
And that's where the soluble or insoluble fiber is?
Correct.
Okay.
In the skin of the fruit, or sometimes for some in the pulp, you're getting a lot of also that viscous nature to it, that thickness. So in a blender, though, you're mixing everything together, but you're not always putting the whole apple into the blender. You're probably peeling the apple first. So you're already taking the fiber off. So you really need to look at the blender or at the juicer and see which is the right fit for you. Some juicers will allow you to put the whole fruit in and keep all of those wonderful properties.
What are the advantages of one over the other? What do you think, personally, I like the blender better.
I would agree with you. I like a blending option because you can add things to it. So when you're blending, you can add things like, and we can talk about this, protein powders, or different things like avocado, for example, which you maybe wouldn't throw into a juicer.
True.
With juicing, you have the potential to get a very high sugar product at the end.
Really?
Yeah, unless if you're juicing, as I mentioned, celery, cucumber, I think kale.
Okay.
If you're juicing that, then it's a little bit different. But if you're juicing apples, carrots, mango, you're going to get a really dense, high sugar juice that you might think is very healthy, but it might spike your blood sugar aggressively.
So Jamie, how about meal replacement? Would this replace a meal? Because I know that I'll have one at lunchtime and it would fill me up and I wouldn't want to have anything else afterward.
Depends on the person. I suggest trying it out. See if it works for you. If you're looking for weight control, using it as a meal replacement, you can add, as I mentioned, like a protein powder with some fruits. Some people even maybe will drizzle a little bit of an oil in there, coconut oil or flax oil into the blender. And that can be a meal replacement if you're adding other macronutrients like fat or protein, and you're not just putting fruits in there.
Okay. And let's say that we do one or the other, it doesn't matter whether it's blending or juicing, but if someone is looking for weight control, or just they're looking to lose weight, what would you put in there? What ingredients are good for that?
Okay, that's where the protein plays a huge role, and maybe not just eating the shake alone. That's why I say to try it out, because some people might drink a smoothie and come to me and say, Jamie, I tried that, I'm hungry 45 minutes later, and I'm out looking for something to eat. So for you, that doesn't happen, but some people it might. So with weight loss, you want to test it out. Make a smoothie, maybe you can add a quarter of a banana, you can put in other fruits, berries, and things like this. You want to stay away from heavy nut butters for someone who's looking to lose weight. A lot of times smoothies can be a glorified milkshake, and for weight loss, it's not favorable. So if you're looking at one that has cocoa with banana and peanut butter and yogurt, you can pack 500 calories. If you're doing a smoothie that has avocado, cucumber, spinach, that's a wonderful option. Maybe pairing that with a Greek yogurt on the side.
Okay. And smoothies doesn't necessarily mean that it's a sweet treat either. I mean, it could be it could be totally spinach and carrots and just things like that.
Correct.
How about anti-inflammatory? Someone who's looking out for themselves and or has issues with cancer. What ingredients would be good for a smoothie or a juicing?
With smoothies and juicing, you can pretty much add anything you want to the mix. So turmeric, which is from a root, you can add that, just the powder. wonderful as an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. Fish oils, which maybe would be unfavorable in a blended drink, you can add flax oil, very rich in omega-3s as we discussed, and avocado.
Okay.
Also
avocado
outstanding.
good, really?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful.
All right, so my deal is energy. How can I get more energy? What ingredients can I put in there to give me more energy?
Okay, that's a wonderful question. I think the greens that you're going for are already going to pack and fill the juice that you're having or blended drink with a lot of energy. And I would stick with that. I think that the greens that you're opting for are appropriate.
So greens is what will give you that extra boost?
You want the antioxidants, a lot of the minerals and the vitamins, and you're going to get that in the greens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a lot of new things. If you go on the web, there's like so many things that you can do to be healthier. And one of the things that stood out when I was looking at all these was chia seeds. I had never heard of it. I started looking, and it's like, I think the Aztecs used to have it. So I'm like, well, it's good for them. So I bought it. It's great. I've got my entire family on it. I have it with oatmeal in the morning, but I've heard it's really good. What's your take on it?
Chia seeds are outstanding. They are a lot of times referenced now as a power food.
Yes.
The reason is because they do have omega-3s. Again, that's acting at that inflammation concern. The real special property that they have is their fiber content. So the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics suggests about 20 to 35 grams of fiber a day. Normally, if you're speaking to an average American, or if I look at what they're eating for the day, you're talking that they're probably getting maybe 10 grams of fiber.
Wow.
In chia seed, in just 2 tablespoons, you will get 10 to 12 grams of fiber there, which is outstanding. Difficult to do. So if you're having 1 tablespoon a day, that's an additional 5 grams of fiber.
So you suggest 2?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say the fiber property is outstanding.
Yeah.
It does have protein in it as well, a lot of antioxidants, a bit of calcium, and other antioxidant and nutrient properties.
All right. And recently I was turned on to spirulina, type of algae. Really good. It gives your blend, your smoothie of a green consistency. So, you know, if it's green, you think it's healthy.
Yeah.
So I always put it in my juice, my blender with kale, spinach, avocado, pineapple, blueberry. I put some ginger, and then
Wonderful.
I put some spirulina. Tell me about spirulina. Do you like it?
I do. Personally, I take spirulina in a greens mix already. So when I'm making a smoothie, I take a greens mix that has other greens in it, like chlorella. It'll have spirulina. It will have parsley. It'll have all different types of greens in a powdered form.
Really?
And I'll take a scoop and I'll put that right into my blended drink, which is wonderful.
What's good about it?
It's a very powerful antioxidant. A lot of people also use it as a detoxifying agent. So there can be a lot of buildup from the environment in our bodies, in the system. Spirulina, as it's a blue-green algae, has been shown in the literature that it may assist in pulling some of those toxins out. You do want to be careful, though. You don't want to be too aggressive with the amount of spirulina. When you start utilizing something like blue-green algae, start small. Start at the lowest suggested dose. If it's telling you, is this a caplet or is this a powder?
No powder.
Okay, so what is the suggestion on this bottle
I think it's
here?
a teaspoon.
So if this says a teaspoon twice a day, you would take, I would suggest starting at 1/4 of a teaspoon twice a day.
Okay.
This way you are allowing the body to adjust. You're not going to tax any of the organs like the liver, which is involved in our natural detoxification process. You still want to allow the body to detox itself.
All right, and then lastly, flaxseed. I've always heard great things about it.
Right.
Should it be replaced with chia, or do they work in the same way? Tell me about that.
They're both great, and we should include them both. The difference is chia does have also special properties. You can really use it a lot in baking. It has, you mentioned in oatmeal. When you put it into fluid or a hot beverage or food, it gets a thicker consistency.
Yes.
It even has a really nice chewy property to it. I bake with it. I use it in like a bran muffin. You can use it in oatmeals, in yogurts. Now, flax does not have that fiber property, but it does have omega-3s. It does have a lot of antioxidants, and it is still very favorable to use in the diet. you do want to grind the flaxseed. What I do is I put it into a pepper grinder and put it in the fridge.
Oh, interesting.
And then I put it over salads, fish, vegetables.
Okay, very cool, very nice. Thank you so much. Very interesting information, and of course, if we can just get something from here and improve our lives and just feel better about it, it's all worth it. All right, so if you want any more information, if you've got any concerns or thoughts, or you want to consult with Jamie in any way, you can reach her at the contact information on the bottom of your screen. We'll be right back with more of Coral Gables Now.
Take a pop quiz with me. In what film did I feel a need for speed? What was my call sign? Who did I sit behind in the F-14? Oh, and one more question. Who does your kid sit behind in homeroom?
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school and know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
In other news, the city's downtown is attracting powerful multinational companies. That's one of the stories Tanya Leitz has in City News.
Two world-leading companies are making moves in our city. Diageo and Mondelez will both be moving their Latin American headquarters to this location on 396 Alhambra Circle. Diageo is a company focused on spirits, wine, and beer. Their current office is located on Blue Lagoon, but moving to Coral Gables will support their expansion in the Latin American region. The second company also moving to this building is Mondelez International, but they are no strangers to the city as they are only relocating from across the street. This multinational company is a world leader in snacks with brands such as Nabisco, Cadbury, Oreo, and Trident. Welcoming these businesses in the fall to downtown Coral Gables will be sure to boost our local economy and its prestige. In other news, our city has received another prestigious award. The National League of Cities has recognized Coral Gables for its program to increase workforce diversity. More than half of its upper management positions and more than 2/3 of the police department's positions are occupied by women, minorities, or both. But the workforce is not just diversified by race, but with talent, education, and language skills. And finally, the city's pay-by-phone program has recently been generating an average of $60,000 a month and about 10,000 transactions per week. The usage has tripled since its implementation in November 2012, and locals are very happy with the program.
It's one of the best apps, I think, for parking, especially here in Miami where parking is so difficult and you finally find a spot and then you have to go and get the little paper and come back. It's time consuming. So with the pay by phone app, it's actually, you just click, what you want to do, what you want to pay, how long you want to stay there for, and you can do it from your car, you can do it as you walk away from your car. And the best feature is that it texts you when time's about to expire. So it's convenient, and I think the convenience is key. This is a place where people love to shop, love to come and eat.
This service is a city initiative to make it easier for locals who live, work, and visit Coral Gables. For City News, this has been Tanya Leitz.
All right, thank you, Tanya. Coming up, the Actors Playhouse is getting a lot of attention. We'll fill you in next.
Things can get pretty ugly when you're bored. In an after-school program, you can find something way better to do.
Welcome back. The Actors Playhouse is getting a lot of attention lately. The theater's facade is being restored to its original look, but it's what's happening on the inside that's creating the buzz. Although relatively small in size, Actors Playhouse puts on big productions with big names in the industry. And joining us today to talk about that is Doreen Montalvo. She's one of the actresses in the Heights production that's taking place now. And we've got Barbara Stein. She is the executive producing director at the Actors Playhouse. Ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So tell me about In the Heights right now, going on. A great production, great reviews so far. give me a little bit of background on it.
Well, In the Heights is a fabulous production that actually had some roots in Miami years ago with some of the artistic talent and creative team and actors in the original Broadway show. And it workshopped in New York and then moved off Broadway to Broadway, won 4 Tony Awards, played so well in New York, and toured for a couple years. And after the traveling tour closes down, regional theaters like Actors Playhouse had the availability to get the rights. So our name was on the list for the longest time, waiting and calling and prodding for the answer yes. So we've been produced this show about a year before it was announced, and working very hard to get the rights. And I think that the creative team and Lin-Manuel Miranda, who is the author of the show and the Tony Award winner and the star of the show in New York, was thrilled that Miami would have its due with In the Heights. It's a show with the heart and soul of our Miami, our South Florida community, actually.
Right. Now, because there's such diversity in the whole play, the play itself, is that what you look for? Do you take into account the things that are going on in the culture of the city when you go out and select these plays?
Well, I think you're probably directing that to me because we choose the plays on an annual season, and I tell you, we take very close consideration to our community's likes and dislikes, and the audience that comes to our theater, our niche. We've developed a niche over the years as a musical theater, but we do some outstanding creative plays like the Pulitzer Prize winning August Osage County, and just recently the contender for a Pulitzer Prize, Other Desert Cities, and we do comedies as well. But people look to us for that musical theater niche. We take into serious consideration the diversity of our community, the tourism that comes here, the large name recognition shows based on the fact that we have such a diverse community who would recognize and attend those shows primarily over a new work. So we work very carefully when we figure our seasons year after year.
Okay. Now, Doreen, this is, you're playing Abuela Claudia.
Yes.
And you were fortunate to be in the first In the Heights in Broadway.
Yes.
Now, not the same character.
I never knew who I was going to play when I walked into the theater. That was the beauty of it. I'm like, am I Doreen? Am I Daniela, Camila, Abuela? Who am I today? You know, so it was fun. And for me, it was just like, oh, this is kind of crazy, but amazing, you know, and an amazing experience. So to be able to come back here after having had that beautiful, fabulous journey. And when we closed in 2011, I thought I would never see In the Heights again. You know, to be able to create Abuela as my own and be able to bring what I've always wanted to bring to her, you know, now, and be able to relive this phenomenal story with these amazing people, you know, some of which I have worked with before, others who I hadn't. There's a local guy here, Henry Gainza, who's also from New York, but he's from Miami. He was in the very first couple of readings back in 2002 with me, and he got cut out of it a long time ago. So for him to actually be finally in the Heights and me be able to work with him, it's like this beautiful full circle.
Tell me about going, you know, to a place like London or Broadway, and then coming to the Actors Playhouse and that experience.
Well, here's the funny thing. Like, I love traveling and singing and being able to perform all over the world is great. And Broadway, especially within the Heights, was a beautiful and amazing experience. Again, it was, at that point, it was an 8-year journey to get to Broadway from the time I'd started. While we were on Broadway, we had always said, why can't we do a sit-down of this show in Miami? Because half our group was from Miami. There was so much Miami infused in our show. You know, Janet, Henry, Andrea Burns, who originated Daniela, went to New World as well. Alex Lackamore, a musical director, has roots here. You know, and we always said a sit-down in Miami would be the perfect place for this show because of the storyline, because of the flavor of the music. You know, we knew that we would just be embraced here. And I always said, I'm like, I want to be a part of that production, wherever it is, whenever it is in Miami. So I feel blessed and lucky and honored, and I'm enjoying every single second being here, you know. I walked back to the theater earlier today, and I'm like, we've had 2 days off, and I'm like, I can't wait to get back on the stage right now. You know, I've missed it.
And we have a 2 o'clock show, so you'll be there soon.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously, you're not having any problem attracting big names. And I
Well,
think that goes to your credit as far as the performances you're putting on and the actual.
Well, there's a lot to be said about that. I think our company, our theater, our director, our team, myself included, we have a high esteem for the people that work with us. And I think we create relationships with people that are creating a national buzz. It's a nice place to work. Exactly. We do everything we can to make people comfortable. You know, they're part of our theater family. Once you work with us, you're an alumni of Actors Playhouse. We're creative. Well, thank you. Well, we consider vice versa. We are a buzz in the national scene. People like to come down there. They especially like to work here in January, February, and March.
Yeah.
Well, when we do our big shows, okay. And so no, we don't have trouble attracting the right people. We've worked very carefully to select our actors, and we pride ourselves for hiring. You know, we're the largest self-producing company for adults and children in South Florida, the largest. Okay, that means we hire more actors than any other, especially from our region. We're known to hire more Florida-based union professional actors than any other company as well. Wow. So we pride ourselves also in hiring the highest grade talent regionally and keeping them employed. And 3 of the actors in our show right now, 2 have worked with us before, are graduates of the New World College for Arts here, New World School. And they are terrific. Nick Duckhart is playing our Usabi, and I'm going to tell you that he is a chameleon actor. He's fabulous, and any one of these actors that work here from South Florida or from the New York team have every opportunity to be a highlighted featured actor on Broadway or anywhere they want to. They're talented people.
Absolutely.
We're so happy to have you guys here. We always talk about you guys in the Actors Playhouse, and it's just we're really fortunate here in Coral Gables to have such a beautiful center like the Actors Playhouse.
We're fortunate to be here. We love Coral Gables. We love this community, and we love serving it with outreach programs, with introducing young people who grow into long-term supporters. Our mission as a nonprofit in this community is to develop whatever we can in any way we can, and we're really proud of our partnership with the City of Coral Gables to have built this wonderful center and to finally get that marquee looking beautiful. We're really happy about that.
Well, thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Doreen, both of you for coming. And the next production, In the Heights, is still going on. Their next production is The Fox on the Fairway. It's going to run May 8th through June 2nd. And, of course, you can expect a lot from that, too. The phone number, if you want tickets, if you want more information, 305-444-9293. We'll be right back with more of Coral Gables Now. Welcome back, and we just heard from Barbara Stein at the Actors Playhouse saying how important it was to bring in local talent in her productions. And fortunately, we have the opportunity to interview one of the actresses that's playing In the Heights right now at the Actors Playhouse. We've got Christie Perez. Thank you so much, Christie.
Thank you for having me.
Local here in the Miami area. Tell me about your role in the Heights, playing right now.
I play the role of Vanessa. In the play, she's more of like the tough cookie. She's very independent because she has such a dysfunctional family at home. So she's the one who pretty much has to take care of herself and all of her finances and pretty much of her mom as well. Her mom's known to be an alcoholic. So she kind of has to build this wall to protect herself and her emotions and whatever she's going through at home by just working at Daniela's salon and just making ends meet. Because of everything that she's gone through at home, she builds this character of like, no one's gonna, no one can mess with me. I gotta get my things done. She wants to leave the barrio. She wants to go downtown and make something of herself. And even though she doesn't have the funds and the means right at that moment, she's trying to make her way in any way that she can to just get out and to be successful by herself.
So you've got a singing background, and you've got to do a lot of choreography and acting. in this play.
Yes.
Tell me about all that and how you prepared for such a role.
Well, we had, I think it was 3.5 weeks to learn this entire musical and to have it running. So it was literally pressing play and doing a fast forward. Like, we had to learn everything 8 hours a day, nonstop. Right after we finished our musical lesson, we had to go straight into choreography, then to book readings. It was nonstop. So I would always laugh with some of the ensemble members, and we would say that we weren't even dreaming anymore, because we would sleep and we would literally be singing the songs all the time, having that in our mind at all times of the day. So it was literally our breakfast, lunch, and dinner for those 3.5 weeks to get it up and running. Yeah.
So Actors Playhouse, obviously it's beloved here in the city. What clout does it have for actors and actresses?
I think it gives local actors, as well as actors that are from out of town, an opportunity to just showcase their abilities and their talents and their love for theater. I feel like in Miami, there's not a lot of places where you can do that when it comes to musical theater. So the Actors Playhouse has been so successful in maintaining that and bringing people in and keeping people on stage alive. And they give that opportunity to everyone, including me.
How about musical theater? You're saying that this is like your first experience. What has it been so far for you? How do you feel about it?
It's been amazing, but it's definitely been challenging at the same time, because I usually, when I perform independently, you're talking to the audience, you're connecting with them, whereas here you have to connect with the audience without speaking to them, like they can't be there. And that was what was a little challenging for me, but in the end, I channeled it to that, and it's definitely a great experience to be doing it like that.
So as soon as you're done with this, you're going to go back to recording, recording,
continue auditioning, and just trying to find another experience like this, even though it's going to be really hard, because this one is just unforgettable.
Such a prestigious performance, such a prestigious play that has gotten such rave reviews and winner of Tony Awards, and that this is, the one that you're in, that says a lot.
I think it really does, and I'm just blessed that they had so many auditions and so many people coming in and out and so many callbacks, that I'm just lucky that they gave me the opportunity to shine, because there's a lot of talented people out there that would have loved to do this. So I'm just blessed that I got chosen to do it. I'm really happy.
Congratulations, Christie,
you.
and we're rooting for you. We'll
Thank
see you on the big screen one day.
Thanks, hopefully.
And that does it for this edition of Coral Gables Now. Thanks for watching Coral Gables Television. Make sure that you check us out, our programming online. We're at coralgables.com/Coral Gables TV, and you can also find us on YouTube at www.youtube.com/Coral Gables TV. We'll see you next month.